Hey, I'm just doing a quick, maybe like a half an hour, 45-minute, might go an hour, I don't know. Doing a quick video talking about the second impeachment of Trump, apparently, because apparently they can't wait less than 2 weeks for him to just be out of office since, Joe Biden was technically officially certified. Um, and there's the Capitol violence. I want to talk about the shooting because a lot of people say, well, I should say a lot of right leaning individuals are suggesting that it was not justified, and I'm sorry, but I would have to disagree, and I have reasons why, and I will explain those. And we'll listen to a, uh, a witness who was there, um, and it's about a 2 minute video. And then I want to show you guys some evidence. It's not like die-hard evidence suggesting civil war is being planned, but it does lead me to believe, especially with what happened at the Capitol, that there are groups that are looking to plan insurrection and or a civil war starting around the 19th, the day before the inauguration, and perhaps even earlier. A lot of people are dissatisfied with the way things have been, whether that be the Democrat lockdowns, um, the the terrible stimulus package that Republicans refused, absolutely refused, uh, to increase from $600 to 12, or was it 14? No, 2,000. Yeah. So it was supposed to increase from 600 to 2,000, and if they do the increase, those of you who already got the 600 would get the 1,400, make it 2,000. They refused to do that, and people are sick and tired of it. However, I have to say that I'm disappointed in a lot of the Trump supporters that did go to the Capitol, and the reason that I'm disappointed is simply because they acted like petulant children, impatient children. Because I'm sorry, I understand the frustration because they think that the election was stolen. I get it. I get it. I do. Because none of the evidence was heard. The between the Supreme Court, the state Supreme Courts, lower appellate courts, just sitting there and saying, you know what, we don't want to touch it, we don't want to hear it, and them just kicking the can down the road and none of the evidence being heard. I understand the frustration. However, we have multiple checks and balances on the system for a reason, okay? We have a whole constitutional process, which included the joint session hearings today, right? And instead of waiting to see what the verdict was, what the outcome was going to be, instead of waiting to see, oh, well, how are they going to vote? Is it going to go into the 2 hour debate and then the vote? And was it going to be a contingent election that, quite honestly, if it would have gone contingent election, Trump could have won? It's possible. But guess what? In the middle of all of that, in the middle of them going through the constitutional process, these impatient, riotous children decided we're going to go out there and disrupt the constitutional process. I understand that they feel that the election was stolen, and because of that, the the constitutional process was already violated. But that is why we have multiple checks and balances, so that way if one step of that process doesn't work, another step should catch the mistakes. And if that step doesn't work, we have another step and another step and another step. And if all of those fail, then you kind of have something to be angry about. But storming into the Capitol in the middle of the session is like somebody being angry at a guilty verdict in a courtroom that is still cross-examining witnesses. It doesn't make sense. So you kind of ruined it for yourselves because you ruined. First of all, you interrupted a constitutional process. You charged on the Capitol, and you rioted. you stole stuff, and the PR was a nightmare. I mean, you had people with, look, I don't care what you do in your free time, but if you want good PR, do not run up on the Capitol with Confederate flags. It, I, just do they understand the optics of this? I don't think they do. So, so yeah, like it's ridiculous. So because of all of that, four people died. Only one person was shot, and from what I understand, three people had, I believe, medical problems induced by the conditions. I think, between the tear gas, the falling down and being shoved and stuff. Three of those people, I believe, died of medical conditions. That's just what I've heard. I haven't confirmed that, right? What I have confirmed is a woman was shot, a 35-year-old woman. She was shot um, because apparently she thinks that the Secret Service does not mean what they say when they say, stop doing what you're doing or you will be shot. And unfortunately for her, she died because she doesn't know how to follow instructions. I'm going to say the same thing that I say about police interactions. It's the same thing. If you do not want to get shot, if you do not want force used against you, listen to instructions, especially if the gun is already out and trained on you. How dumb do you have to be to ignore those instructions? Especially if you're not even armed yourself, right? So, we're going to go ahead and get into it because I think I've given it enough time. And I have one viewer, and whoever you are, you're awesome. And hopefully some more join, but we're going to go ahead and get into it because this is going up on YouTube anyway, so people can watch it later. Ha! Okay, so the first couple things is we're going to have, I'm going to Reddit. We're going to go to Reddit and watch two separate videos. One of some chants that were going on before the shooting, and then an eyewitness that was there during the shooting. So we're going to go here. Trump supporters chanting, "Hang Mike Pence" at the Capitol building, and this was before the actual shooting that happened. Okay, and so you guys can kind of hear, it's quite a few people chanting this, and it's a large crowd that's gathered, right? So obviously, when they started breaching the Capitol, you have the Secret Service is issuing evacuation orders. They're throwing tear gas to slow people down. They threw tear gas in the rotunda, which is kind of dangerous because tear gas in an enclosed space will it'll kill you. It'll kill you because what it does is it displaces the oxygen in the room, and then you can't breathe and you die, right? So they were giving out gas masks to the Congress people and the senators, and they were ushered out, and so was Mike Pence and I believe VP-elect Harris also. They were all getting ushered out, and that is when the shooting actually took place. The woman in question, the one that was shot, was hopping through a window. And I don't have the video right now. I'm sure you guys have probably seen it because it was plastered everywhere. You saw she was wearing a backpack, and it's barricaded. The door is barricaded, and there's, from what I could see, at least a dozen Secret Service members all in doorways along the way with their guns trained on the barricades, right? And she is going through a broken window, and you can hear the Secret Service telling her, back up, stop what you're doing, back up, all that stuff. And people are, there's chaos. You got Capitol Police that are coming up the stairs. You have all the rioters inside there, and then this woman is trying to get through the thing. And here's the thing, guys. The Secret Service does not care who you are or where you come from, how many kids you have. They don't care. Their job is to protect the president, the vice president, the senators, the congressmen. That's who they're there to protect. That is their job. That's what they're going to do. They don't care who you are, what you're doing, anything. If you are entering a restricted area, they have authority to use lethal force. And I believe in the Capitol building, there are areas where there are signs posted that say that they can use lethal force if necessary, right? And quite honestly, you should know this. The Secret Service, it's pretty common sense that they're allowed to use lethal force, right? Okay, so she climbs in, and you see the closest officer discharge his weapon, and I actually believe that guy was Capitol Police, not Secret Service. So he discharges his weapon and strikes her in the neck. She falls back. And from there, we get chaos and just insanity. So let's go to the eyewitness. And this witness is going to talk about what happened, and how she was warned and all that.
Can you just start with your first and last name and where you're from?
Yeah, I'm Thomas Barani from New Jersey.
Can you show us your hand?
Yeah.
How did you get that on your hand?
Well, we had stormed into the chambers inside, and there was a young lady who rushed through the windows. A number of police and Secret Service were saying, get back, get down, get out of the way. She didn't heed the call, and as we kind of raced up to grab people and pull them back, they shot her in the neck, and she fell back on me and started saying she was fine, it's cool. And then she started kind of like moving weird, and blood was coming out of her mouth and neck and nose, and I don't know if she's alive or dead anymore.
And how did you get back out of the building?
Riot police came in and started ushering us out with their sticks.
Where did you enter the building and where did you exit?
So you guys heard that, right? So she was warned by Secret Service and Capitol Police that she was going to get shot. She didn't follow the instructions and was shot. It's pretty simple, right?
Other side with the scaffolding. We tore through the scaffolding through flashbangs and tear gas and blitzed our way in through all the chambers, just trying to get into Congress or whoever we could get into and tell them that we need some kind of investigation into this. And what ends up happening is someone might have ended up dead. And that's not the kind of government we can have. People have to do something about it. I can't.
If you need any help at all, EMS is right there.
I'm not injured. It could have been me, but she went in first. It was one of us.
Thank you for telling us your story.
Yeah. Just make sure people know, because this cannot stand anymore. This is wrong. They don't represent anyone. Not Republican, Democrat, Independent, nobody. And now they'll kill people.
Who are you saying will kill people?
I don't, police, congressmen and women, they don't care. I mean, they think we're a joke. $2,000 checks was a joke to them. There's people filming us, laughing at us as we march down the street. At the Department of Justice, there's a man in the window laughing at us, filming us. And here it was a joke to them until we got inside, and then all of a sudden guns came out. But I mean, we're at a point now it can't be allowed to stand. We have to do something. People have to do something, because this could be you or your kids.
Okay, so he's right, sort of. Let me explain. He's right in the fact that none of our representatives seem to care about representing anybody anymore. They take money from interest groups, lobbyists, and enrich themselves. They go into office making $200,000 a year, and after 10 years, where they should only have maybe $1.5 million in total, their net worth is like 24, 30 million. How is that possible? But it happens all the time. So he's right in that part. What he's not right about is that this was somehow an unjustified shooting, because I'm sorry, trust me, I struggled with it a little bit because she was unarmed, but somebody pointed out to me, and it took me a little while to realize this, but you have to think about it like this. The Secret Service is there to protect them from all threats, not just the visible ones, right? Now, at the time that this was happening, pipe bombs and suspicious packages were found at both the DNC and RNC headquarters, not even a couple blocks from here, from the Capitol. So, and I don't remember if it was the DNC or the RNC one, but law enforcement actually detonated one of these explosives. So it's not like it was just a threat and it turned out to be nothing. No, no, there was explosives, right? So at this time, you've got people storming the Capitol. They're trying to evacuate the VP, and at the same time, explosives are found in other buildings in the general vicinity of where this is going on. Then you see this lady who's wearing a backpack climbing through this window. You don't know what's in that backpack. It could be a bomb. It could be some type of chemical agent. She could be wearing a suicide vest. You don't know. A lot of you people are probably going to scoff at me and be like, not in America. Oh, really? Not in America? Suicide bombers? Really? Because I'm pretty sure the same people that would say not in America to that also were saying like 2 days ago that the Capitol is going to get stormed in a couple days. Not in America. Yeah, no, this stuff can and will happen. Okay, it, just people have a normalcy bias. They think that this stuff can't happen, and it can. It can happen anywhere. And the way that America's been going, it's very worrying where we're going with all of this. Okay, I'm very worried for our country for this reason. Okay, and just because they're freaking idiots and they're stupid and they're not paying attention to what is going on right now. Of course, the Democrats decide that they want to impeach Trump again. The first time didn't go anywhere because there was no reason to impeach him. And this time, there's still no reason to impeach him. He did not call for violence. He called and held a rally. And after all of this, he said, you guys need to go home. You guys got to stop this, okay? Now, could he have said that a little faster? Yeah, but he didn't call for violence. So the fact that they're trying to impeach him is just going to enrage more Trump supporters that were just raiding the Capitol. So are you dumb? Are Democrats stupid? You know what? They might be doing it on purpose. I don't know. But just look, calls grow in Congress for Trump to be removed by impeachment or the 25th Amendment. Okay? For those of you who don't know, 25th Amendment is the president is incapacitated to some extent, and the VP votes with others to remove the president due to health concerns or his inability to perform his duties. I don't see how that would apply at all. Like, I understand why they believe that he should be impeached. I don't think it's a good reason, but I can understand their mental state and why they would believe that. But I don't understand why they would go the 25th Amendment route at all, right? So let's read this. A growing number of lawmakers, including Democratic leadership, are calling for President Trump to be removed from office either through impeachment or the 25th Amendment. Senate Democratic leader Chuck Schumer said Thursday, insurrection at the Capitol was incited by the president. This president should not hold office one day longer. Nancy Pelosi said, I join the Senate Democratic leader in calling on the vice president to remove this president by immediately invoking the 25th Amendment. If the vice president and the cabinet do not act, the Congress may be prepared to move forward with impeachment. That is the overwhelming sentiment of my caucus and the American people. What? In case you haven't been paying attention, Pelosi, 75 million Americans believe that Trump was cheated in the election. Maybe not all 75 that voted. So what? Let's say like 50 million, right? But that's still a lot of people. A lot of people believe that he was cheated. So no, not an overwhelming sentiment of the American people, because a lot of them actually are pretty pissed off. Some of them showed up and stormed the Capitol 2 days ago. And you want to say that maybe your caucus for sure, because all the Democrats hate Trump, but come on. Are you stupid? Are you seriously going to sit here and enrage more Trump supporters, more, because don't get me wrong, there were extremists that went. There were extremists there. Some people have been shown to have been Nazis. Some people have been shown to be QAnon supporters, and alt-right people showed up. Now, that's not to say that that was the majority. A majority was probably normal Trump supporters who are just fed up with lockdowns, but there were some of those people there. But do you not think that by doing this, you're going to enrage them? Trump only has 2 weeks left. Less than 2 weeks. I think 13 days, in fact. Can you really not wait that long? Do you not think that trying to remove him in this way is going to enrage people and cause more violence? I mean, I don't understand why they would be, number one, wasting taxpayer dollars on something that quite honestly shouldn't even be happening, because there's not really any evidence that he did anything. He didn't incite violence, so I don't know what they're trying to do. And two, like I said, the increase in violence that may come from this. It's ridiculous. Um, Pelosi called Trump a very dangerous person who should not continue in office. This is urgent. This is emergency of the highest magnitude. You would think that if he was going to do something, he would have done something in the last 2 months that he's had time to do something. I mean, he could have invoked the Insurrection Act. He could have, I don't know, deployed National Guard to random places and told them that it was, just for one thing, when it was really, he had a different plan in mind. Who knows? Like, he could have done stuff, but he didn't. So why all of a sudden do you think that this is any different? She says, the most immediate way to ensure the president is prevented from causing further harm in coming days is to invoke the 25th Amendment and remove him from office. As history watches, I urge Vice President Pence and the president's cabinet to put country before party and act. Oh, country before party? Really? Because you guys haven't done that for like the last 4 years. Invoking the 25th Amendment is the quickest way to do this, and expedience must be our goal. If the Vice President and Cabinet fail to act, we have a duty to pursue impeachment. Well, I mean, I don't think that he has a reason to invoke the 25th, but whatever. Hakeem Jeffries tweeted on Thursday, Donald Trump should be impeached, convicted, and removed from office immediately. So he's going even further in saying convict Trump. So it's wow. So it says 3 members of the House Judiciary Committee, Reps Jamie Raskin, David Cicilline, and Ted Lieu, are circulating to colleagues an impeachment resolution calling Trump's actions an abuse of power. They wrote that Trump violated the Constitution by, quote, willfully inciting violence against the government of the United States. Can you point to me when he said to storm the building and take over the Capitol? Because he didn't say any of that. He just said a generic, we're going to have to fight, meaning in the constitutional bounds of, I don't know, the joint session that was happening. What do they think? Like, it's not his fault that a bunch of extremists went out and did their own thing. People have free will, okay? I'm drawing up articles of impeachment. Donald J. Trump should be impeached by the House of Representatives and removed from office by the United States Senate. We can't allow him to remain in office. It's a matter of preserving our republic, and we need to fulfill our oath, Omar tweeted Wednesday. Talib tweeted, this is on Donald Trump, period. He called folks to D.C. and gave them marching orders. He needs to be impeached and removed immediately. He did not. He said, come to D.C. for a rally. I mean, at no point did he say, we're gonna march on D.C. We're going to march on the Capitol. You're gonna break into the Capitol and attempt to take hostages. He never said any of that. Okay. Just because you don't like him doesn't mean you get to interpret the things he says differently than what he's actually saying. But then again, that's what they do. They take everything out of context, they twist it around, and they try to make him seem like he said something that he didn't. Okay. So this article, it keeps going and talking about the same stuff, that we've been talking about. So you know, it's the same crap. Now, I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that the violence is not over. The reason that I say this is because I've seen on multiple different media outlets, whether it be Facebook, um, Parler, some private Telegram groups, um, they're sharing information and talking about civil war. And quite honestly, I'm not surprised. I didn't expect it to happen at the Capitol. I thought that the violence and the talk of civil war was really going to be mostly for after Biden actually got in office and then started trampling rights, like, doing gun control and all that stuff. I thought that's when all of that was going to happen. But I did say in a couple of my other YouTube videos prior to this, I did say that it was most likely going to happen one way or another, whether it be civil war, simple civil disobedience, or whatnot. It was going to happen one way or another because people are tired. People are tired of the hypocrisy. They're tired of the lockdowns. They're tired of no one representing them. They're tired of all of it, right? So, before I go ahead and get into the the minor evidence, maybe you guys can be the judge. Before we get into the evidence that I kind of have about people planning and calling for civil war, I want to make sure that you guys go ahead and like and subscribe this channel. Please share these videos because that's how I get the word out. That's how I grow my channel. And make sure to hit the notification bell so that way you know when I post a new video, live stream, and go ahead and follow me on all of my social media. All of my social media is the exact same thing. It's all Biopilot17, whether it be TikTok, Instagram, um, uh, what shoot, I don't even remember all my social media. Just all of it. It's all Biopilot17. Anyway, so moving on. Uh, so we're gonna get into one of these. Actually, I don't know if it's coming up. Can you guys see it? I don't think. Can I? Oh no, I can't see it. Hold on. I guess it's not gonna be able to come up. Well, you guys can't see it, but I guess I could read it. So there's a Facebook post that was posted that reads, Christopher Snyder was an 11-year-old boy in 1770 when he earned the unfortunate honor of being the first rebel to die in the first American Revolution. Yesterday, Ashley Babbitt earned the same distinction in the Second Revolution. This system is beyond fixing. In America today, our currency is controlled by private banks run by men loyal to a foreign country. Our laws are not written by our legislators, but by lobbying firms run by men loyal first and foremost to this same foreign power. Our country has been subverted for a very long time, but the scales are beginning to fall from the eyes of the people. There is no political solution. That was posted on what looks to be Facebook. That's super dangerous. They're calling this a revolution, and they're calling her some sort of martyr. No, no, no. I'm sorry. Um, she broke the law, and she made a stupid decision. She's not a martyr. Everybody that broke into the Capitol, unfortunately, not revolutionaries. They're domestic terrorists. Okay? Now, I know a lot of conservatives are not going to like that I said that, but here's why. I don't believe that we're at the point where revolution is necessary yet. Okay? These people do. They do believe that. And I don't. The reason that I don't is because um, we're having a change of power when it comes to the presidency and the Senate and all that. because of that, we have to see what they're going to do. Are they going to be tyrannical? Are they going to continue the lockdowns? Are they going to keep stepping on our rights? And quite honestly, the first thing that we need to do, that people need to do, should be civil disobedience, right? If it's I forget how the quote goes. It's like a king is only a king because the people let them be a king, something like that, right? Same thing with the government. The government can only write these and enforce these laws if the people let them. Same thing with the lockdowns. If everybody just opened up their businesses, like right now, what's the government going to do? Are they going to fine every business, arrest every business owner and employee? No, they're not going to do that. They literally cannot do that. So it's not going to happen. It's just not. Okay. It's not going to happen. Okay. Now, let's see. Let me try and bring this up. I'll just read them, and then if I can, I'll bring them up at the end because I can't seem to get the photos on unless you guys can see them. But I don't believe you guys can see them. Um, okay, so this was from a Telegram group. I believe it was the one I talked about in my last stream where they changed the flag to like a Jolly Roger flag, the pirate flag, and they talked about how now is the time. So this one says, the republic has fallen. Our elected officials have turned their back on us. They have all become shills for the globalist elite pedophiles. You have just witnessed the modern day fall of Rome. All political solutions have been exhausted. There's only one option left. We must fight for our children's future and to secure their freedom. If we are to die, our children will know we fought for them. They started this war, now they must suffer the consequences. We have God on our side in this epic fight for liberty. Now it's time to raise the effing black flag. That's some scary stuff. They're saying we need to fight. We need to fight. We need to start an insurrection, essentially, a civil war. But that's not even the scariest one. The scariest one is this last one that I'm about to read. And man, I can't understand why people are suggesting this. But here it goes. Here's the last one that I'm going to read. So it says, oh, wrong. Hold up. So this was posted on uh, what is it? Parlor by Colonel T. Perez at Colonel 007. I don't know if it's still up, but he posted two separate things, and I'm not entirely sure if they're still up because these are calls to action. So I'm willing to bet that Parler did take them down, because I don't see why they wouldn't have taken it down because it's a call to action. And Parler, even though they're about free speech, I do not believe that they would allow this to stay up. Okay, but honestly, from what I'm seeing, it was up for at least a day, 20 hours to a day, both of these. So I don't know. I don't know why they didn't take it down, but this may or may not still be up. So if you guys want to go and check to see if what I'm saying is still up, the person who said it is at Colonel 007 on Parler. So the first one says, today, January 6, 2021, we patriots by the millions have arrived in Washington, D.C. Okay, I don't actually think it was millions, but that's what he thinks. Anyway, carrying on. Carrying banners of support for the greatest president the world has ever known. Okay. But if we must, many of us will return on January 19th, 2021, carrying our weapons in support of our nation's resolve to which the world will never forget. We will come in numbers that no standing army or police agency can match. However, the police are not our enemy unless they choose to be. All who will stand with the American patriots or who cannot stand with us, then that would be a good time for you to take a few vacation days. The American Patriot. That is his first one. That's the first one he said, which I believe was about a day ago he posted. I don't know if it's still up. You can go check. That is scary. He's saying we're gonna march on DC again the day before inauguration, carrying our weapons and getting ready to fight because no standing army or police agency can match them. I'm sorry, but I beg to differ. Yeah, if there's a lot of you, maybe, but the police also and the military have, APCs and stuff. So if you're going to fight, I don't think that you'll win because I don't think you have enough support. I really don't. You said because you're in this echo from Parlor, he's already overestimating how many people I think he would support because he said there were millions. I don't think there were millions. There might have been 100,000 people at the riot or the rally before it turned into a riot. So I highly doubt that there would be millions of people that march onto DC, right? Again on inauguration day. Now, here's the second one, also same person. Uh, said, "Today Eric Trump said that he would physically fight with the Patriots to save our country. Today, Representative Mo Brooks asked the Patriots to pledge our life and wealth to fight for our country. And today, President Trump told us to fight like hell. He said that our cause was a matter of national security and that these people behind the massive fraud must be arrested and brought to justice. And that task falls on the shoulders of we the people, the American patriots." Now, I don't know if that was an actual quote from Trump, because you would think that if it was, the media would have run with it. So I think that he's interpreting what President Trump said in his own words, which is dangerous, especially with what he's saying now. This next part is this is what really has me worried. So, over the next 24 hours, I would say, let's get our personal affairs in order, prepare our weapons, and then go get them. Let's hunt these cowards down like the traitors that each of them are. This includes rhinos, Dems, and tech execs. We now have the green light. All who resist us are enemies of our Constitution and must be treated as such. Today the cowards ran as we took the Capitol. They have it back now only because we left. It wasn't the building that we wanted, it was them. That is a call to action. That is illegal. That he's calling for civil war. He's calling for revolution. He's calling essentially for the assassination of government officials. Now look, I don't like the government officials, but I would never advocate for them to be killed because they're doing a crap job. Just remove them from office. Vote them out. You still have that power, okay? We the people still have the power to vote them out, okay? You don't need to go in there guns a-blazing. But this guy is calling for that. And as you saw, the other two things that I read from Facebook and from the other one, it's concerning because even though they're not like straight outright calling for it, you have the same sentiment coming from them that the guy I just read is saying, and he was directly calling for action, for people to show up with weapons on the 19th, to go in and do whatever. And he thinks that he has the backing for it, which could be scary. I mean, I don't know, because it really depends whether or not he actually does have the backing for that. Because if he does, yeah, that's scary. If he doesn't, still scary, but at least I would believe that the police and the military might be able to, deal with it. The problem being that this isn't just the only these three places are not the only three that I've seen this happen. Okay, I've seen it all over Reddit in multiple different subs. I've seen it in private chat rooms. I've seen it on message boards. I'm seeing it everywhere, this anti-government sentiment that is starting to turn towards calls to action and violence. And it is very worrying because we're sitting on a powder keg, because even if they don't, like, even if these people are not meaning to, even if these people are not meaning to actually do this, if it's all talk, it's still right on the verge, and anything couldn't push it over. It's a powder keg. I mean, just this, trying to impeach Trump could push it over the edge. Biden getting into office and day one trying to ban guns or have them put on the NFA could push it over the edge. Even him instituting another 6-week lockdown, which he said he wanted to do day one, could push it over the edge. And right now, it seems like only the extremists are the ones that are saying these things. But the more you push regular Americans to the point where they feel like they have no recourse left, the more you turn regular Americans into extremists. And then their faction grows, and then what? We have a civil war? I don't know. Is it going to be left versus right? Is it going to be libertarian-esque people against authoritarian? Is it going to be far-right extremists against the government? I don't know what form it will take, but it seriously looks like that is what is going on. And it very much worries me. It very much worries me. I wish I could show you these pictures, but I'm having trouble pulling them up. I really wish I could show you them. Like I said, if you want to go see if that one is still up, it was on Parler, and it's the guy is at Colonel 007, 007, not words, numbers. I don't know if they're still up, but they were up all day for 24 hours. So if you want to go check, you can. I have no idea if they're still up. Anyway, guys, I think I've taken up enough of your night. Please, guys, like and subscribe to my channel. The likes really do help with the algorithm to push these videos out for more people to see them. Sharing it also really helps. If you guys want to follow me on my social media, because I do smaller segments on TikTok and on Instagram, you can follow me at BioPilot17 on both of those platforms. And go ahead and, like I said before, hit that notification bell so that way you can see when I upload new videos or whenever I go live. I thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.